While 17 and Stray Kids now hold the record for the first and second best-selling albums by a Korean act of all time, many noticed that their songs are not as popular among the general public as evidenced by their lack of strong presence on the charts. For a while, there's been a belief that girl groups are more popular domestically and boy bands own the international market. From TVXQ to BTS, boy bands seem to have a better grip of the international market than domestic one. But is that true? Are fourth gen boy bands really falling behind, or are we just measuring them the wrong way? Let's find out.
Hi, so this is a question that I got from one of you guys, but you wanted to remain anonymous. You wanted to know why fourth gen boy bands aren't really making it big, they're not becoming successful. I kind of disagree. I feel like our perception of what success is really changed because of BTS, but I think it's kind of unfair to compare anybody to BTS because it's like comparing other bands to the Beatles. Like, no one is gonna win against them. I think if you take that out of the equation, you will be able to, BTS out of the equation, you'll be able to better appreciate the kind of success that fourth gen, the kind of milestones that fourth gen boy bands are actually setting. That being said, I do think that there are still some local and cultural factors in Korea why that affect the success that boy bands are experiencing. It's really way different from girl groups. Okay, so let's continue the video. But first, if you do end up liking this video, please give it a like. Also, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video coming out. You can send me questions and requests and inquiries and clarifications or comments. You can do so in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. But more importantly, I hope that you can share the video because that's really helping my channel. Okay.
Korean GP love girl group music, but boy bands attract a more loyal and devoted fandom. 5 of the biggest K-pop act tours for 2023 are 4th gen boy bands: Stray Kids, 17, TXT, and Hyphen, and Treasure. In terms of sales, 17 and Stray Kids now hold the record for the first and second best-selling albums by a Korean act of all time. But global streaming tells a different story. Streaming is believed to be a mirror of the GP interest more. Spotify reveals that within the top 100 most streamed K-pop songs of all time, once you eliminate all BTS songs, the only other boy bands are iKON, EXO, and Stray Kids. New Jeans, a 14-month-old girl group, has fielded in more songs in the top 100 and more streams too. Of course, the only outlier to this rule is BTS. BTS occupies more than 60% of the charts. Of course, many claim that cultivating a devoted fandom is way more important in sustaining the success of a group than getting GP approval. However, I don't think boy bands are intentionally creating songs that the GP will not like. In my opinion, it's more an effect of their primary strategy, which leads us to the next point: the pursuit of the global audience. By now, ARMYs would know that the 2014 KCON changed the course of BTS's career. The reception of KCON North American audience to BTS's performance actually jolted Bang Si-hyuk towards a consciousness he never even thought existed in his brain. The message was clear: North American market liked BTS. Once BTS started rocking the Western interest, Korean media followed. Now, every agency and their dog seems to follow that strategy. Once they plant their feet firmly on foreign soil, they feel like the Korean audience and the media will follow. This has resulted in the rapid production of foreign-friendly beats and melodies. In turn, that has turned off the Korean GP interest. Looking at some of the most popular and consistent Korean singers, Lim Young-won and IU, Koreans still lean towards ballads or songs that still mirror Korean tradition, at least sonically. The Korean culture. K-pop is still primarily entertainment. Korea, as many Korean scholars and citizens have attested to, is still a patriarchal society. There is still a token sense of exclusivity when it comes to the social stature of men. Women are far more approachable, accessible, and relatable. So when it comes to entertainment, girl groups actually feel easier in the eyes and in the heart. Men are supposed to be serious and in charge of bigger things. Women, on the other hand, may be treated softer. It also influences the type of music the groups put out. It's easier for girl groups to release songs that are more palatable to the ears of the general public. Just compare Hype Boy of New Jeans to Stray Kids Maniac, and you can clearly spot which song caters to a wider audience. Micro trends. COVID and social media have radically changed the way we discover, consume, and experience music. Stuck at home, all we had were our computers and phones, and we released all the frustrations and energy into it. Both the consumers and the creators feasted. As content creators competed for attention, they pushed more contents faster. The goal was to go viral, not long-term success. This has resulted in the rise of micro successes. There are too many groups, too many contents, and you really can't blame management companies and other content creators. TikTok and other social media have really trained the audience to be impatient. If they can't get whatever it is that they're looking for, or if something doesn't catch their attention in the first 5 seconds, they can simply scroll up. There are too many groups, too many contents with very, very focused marketing efforts and no plan for sustainability. Dance challenges pop up like mushrooms and fizzle out like fireworks. It's all about moments, not relationships. Using BTS's success as the standard. BTS set the bar too high, quite honestly. That's the problem. Well, at least a problem for those who insist on measuring their group's success by putting them against BTS. BTS didn't just dominate the global market, they dominated the local market as well. They didn't just impact the K-pop industry, they impacted the Korean economy. More than 60% of the top 100 most streamed Korean songs on Spotify belong to BTS. They sold out their stadium concerts in minutes, even with the group on hiatus as they fulfilled their military obligations. Each member's solo ventures are proving to be more than enough to carry the name of the group. Two members already reached the summit of Billboard Hot 100, Jimin and Jungkook, and Suga's arena tour with only 25 shows reported grossed more than $50 million. I think people forget just how big BTS is. Compare anyone to them and they will look small. Try taking BTS out of the discussion and you will be able to appreciate just how big the achievements of fourth gen groups are. Stray Kids and 17 sold more than 5 million copies of their albums. Imagine that. Stray Kids, TXT, and ENHYPEN sold out their world tours, including their North American dates. Girl groups have male and female fans. Girl groups appeal to male and female fans. On the other hand, boy bands attract mostly female fans. Of course, this comes with a certain stigma that is common even in the West. Any artist with a predominantly female fan base is not taken very seriously. That's why rock bands are taken more seriously here because they appeal to both men and women. Sports are dominated by male fans too. But if you look at them closely, their devotion to their favorite sports team or favorite player may actually be compared to the devotion of K-pop fans to their favorite artists. But no one demeans sports because their fandom is dominated by men. Many say that the first boy band to actually have a considerable amount of male fans is actually Big Bang. BTS, however, just simply takes the cake in terms of size. What can boy bands do BTS hasn't done? BTS is so prolific in their music, artistry, and marketing. For a group to truly grab the attention of the public, they need to be different. But how do you differentiate yourself from someone who has such a wide spectrum of artistry and style? It feels like whatever a boy band does, BTS has already done. This is why we're enjoying such a varied sound and style for girl groups, from Blackpink's Girl Crush to New Jeans' Young and Fresh to G Idol's cerebral artistry. The weight of BTS's commercial and artistic successes are weighing on everyone. It's making it hard for many other boy bands to crawl from underneath and move forward. Chart changes. From Billboard to Melon, charts have changed their rules in order to avoid the massive influence of massive fandoms, aka ARMY. In an attempt to level the playing field, Melon counts unique listeners instead of total streams. Before the reform, boy bands were actually the ones dominating the chart. Because of the changes, girl groups have taken over. Fans and media are still busy with BTS. BTS has redefined everything, including what a hiatus means. Because who tops the charts and sells out concerts during a hiatus? Who launches a campaign for a luxury brand while serving the military? It is this BTS's lingering success that prevents the spotlight from shining a light on other boy bands, so that even when they are actually doing good, no one seems to realize. The amazing thing is that BTS continues to recruit new fans, with many discovering them post-COVID.
Just to clarify, I do think that there are some fourth gen boy bands that are really making some headways, and they are establishing impressive records. They are pushing the boundaries artistically. It's just that people keep on comparing them to BTS, and it's so unfair because it's like comparing any other band to the Beatles. How are you going to? I think fourth gen boy bands should be judged and admired and appreciated for in their own merit without having to drag anybody else's name. But I do think there's something fundamentally wrong with many management companies trying to get into the global market first, because really the conditions have changed since BTS started penetrating the North American market. That was before TikTok, before this explosive popularity of social media. That was before our own communication culture has changed because of COVID. It is just so different now. Next is that BTS is practically there are very few things that BTS hasn't done. So unless they're able to do those few things that BTS hasn't really done, then it would seem like they're just walking the same path that BTS walked on. So, but yeah, I do think that it is, if we just give this group a chance, if we just really give them a closer look and pay them better attention, we'd be able to see that there are some groups out there that are a standout. So yeah, so I just think it's kind of unfair that we keep on comparing them to BTS. It's unfair that we compare anybody to BTS. But I would love to hear your thoughts. You leave them in the comment section below. Again, you can always say what it is that you wanted to say. Just make sure that you say it respectfully. You can get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And please give it a like, this video a like if you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification button so that you know when there is a new video coming out. More importantly, please share the video. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. See you next time.